Hello, everyone. It's Sonia McDonald here, and I'm the CEO and founder of Leadership HQ McDonald Inc. and the Outstanding Leadership Awards. Now, today I wanted to jump on a live and a masterclass to give you some amazing practical motivational skills and tools to help you have truly connected and trusted and courageous conversations, because the key to 2022 is the great reconnection. And this takes courage, right? Because the last couple of years, with us working so much, with so many of us working remotely, virtually, hybrid, the key to success as a leader, and believe you me, and I keep advocating this, leadership isn't a role or rank or title, it's an attitude, it's a choice, and it's an action. And the key to this year is being courageous and connecting more. So this forms part of our Leadership Lab, which is an amazing membership the team at Leadership HQ have put together. So this is, I'm going to give you a free taste of our masterclasses and lives that you have access to, and some amazing interviews. But I really wanted to talk today about being courageous and connected in our leadership and in our conversations and communications. So just a little bit about me. I've had Leadership HQ for 14 years. We are so passionate about building a world of great leaders and leadership. And we're on a mission to do that because we need great leadership more than ever before. It is so critical today. And you know what? If you want to leave a legacy and leave an impact on this world, we all have a part to play in that. So I want you all to step in, step up, start up, get into that, embrace the courage and leadership, because it takes real courage to be a leader and to make an impact no matter how small. I've written a couple of books, which I'm super passionate about, my books, and I'll explain and explore one of them a little bit today. I'm also a keynote speaker. I'm a leadership coach and a mum. So I play all these different roles that I'm really passionate about. But at the end of the day, I'm a leader out there wanting to make a difference. And I want to inspire as many of you as possible to see your inner greatness as a leader. Okay, and if you want to comment, please comment, because and please say hello. If we're going to connect, I think it's really important that I call it LBWA, that we lead by walking around. So if you're listening to this incredible webinar and masterclass today, please say hello in your language, however you love to say hello. I think it's really important that we connect by leading by walking around, connecting with our teams, connecting with our organizations, and just checking in and saying hello. How are you? How can I help you? However you'd love to say hello to anyone, please say hello to me and everyone that's listening to this live today. So my objectives today is to talk about some keys around having connected and courageous conversations. So in particular, I want to talk about different processes, how to put them into action. I want to talk about psychological safety. I'm going to explore some books. My objectives today are for you to really walk away from this, 20 to 30 minutes I'm going to be connecting with you today, to go out there and truly connect with others and truly have the courage to have these conversations. And when I talk about courageous conversations, I'm all about, speaking up, not walking past behavior that you wouldn't accept, having those conversations where you need to check in with someone that can take a bit of courage. There's conversations that you need to have. There's conversations where you need to stand up for yourself. I think it's really important that we're having more of these connected and courageous conversations. And hence, here I am online today, connecting with you all, because, again, I'm so passionate about connection, which we need so much. So if you think about the benefits of connection, tell me what you think the benefits are. If you're on this call now, tell me what you think are the benefits of connecting a lot more and also having more courageous conversations. So if you're listening online or if you're participating, which I can see a number of you are, what are the benefits? Gosh, when we're connecting with each other more and also having courageous conversations, you know what? We are building trust, which is so fundamental. We're showing that we care, okay? I think, again, that is key today, because we are social beings. This is a social organ. So then we really need to be connecting and caring with each other, because I think that the one thing that we have completely I think, neglected over the last few years is truly connecting. And I mean truly connecting around reaching out, asking people how you can help, asking people asking people for help. Excuse me. I think there's so many benefits: trust, showing kindness, showing empathy, showing curiosity. Um, there's, gosh, what else are the benefits of it? It helps with engagement. It helps with motivation. You learn more about each other. You become more inclusive. It's so important that we're connecting. And also, as well, I think, it's so important today that we have the courage to connect, and we have the courage to have conversations with people. Obviously great conversations, but there's conversations that need to be had when we need to check in with someone, or we need to call not so great behavior, or gain understanding of someone else's perspective, right? And that does take courage. Okay, so if you can think of any other benefits you think around having, thank you, Kim, relationship building, because leadership's all about people, right? It's all about relationships. And I think that that's really, again, it's so important that we're doing that. And I'm not talking about connecting via email or text message or, Slack or however you connect. I mean, all these different platforms are really important. But true connection, like picking up the phone. Look, I know that a lot of us, I wrote a blog about this last week around Zoom. I want to break up with you, because I know we're a bit all over these Zoom calls. But when you meet someone face to face and reach out to someone face to face and have that coffee, God, that's wonderful. I'm a big one for sending thank you cards to say that I care about people. Thank you, different perspectives, experience sharing. I think there's so many great benefits too. And that's why I'm so excited that there's so many on this webinar. So I think as well, when it comes to having courageous and connected conversations, it's about as well embracing that we're all unique and we're all different. And when we actually connect with people, we're actually understanding what makes us tick, what motivates us, what is different and unique about us. I put this quote up the other week about, you have to be odd to be number one. And when we're connecting with each other and truly getting a sense of who people are, I'm doing a lot of research at the moment, especially for International Women's Day next week, and looking at all the data around diversity and inclusion. And I'm still seeing that we're behind, right? We're still behind in this D&I space. We're still kind of trapped in this kind of our biases. We need to have the courage to speak up if we're seeing any sort of biases in our hiring and our recruiting, in our promotion of people. We need to have diverse and inclusive teams, right? Yes, and you have to be odd to be number one, but it's so important. And I want you to start to think about that when we actually connect with people and get to know who they are in terms of their life experiencing, their beliefs, their different perspectives. The power of having connected, diverse, and inclusive teams is so important. And that's what I want. You ought to be number one here on this call, because, as I said, you have to be odd to be number one. And you know what makes us imperfect and unique makes us wonderful and beautiful, and that helps with connected conversations. Now, you're probably looking at this slide going, what's this about? And it's really important to think about this kind of like getting into your own, like you being part of these kind of lives and masterclasses, is that when we think about our work life, right? If we think about work and we think about all the technical stuff we do, if you write down, get a piece of paper, and if you put all the technical stuff that we do and all the people and leadership stuff that we do, and write down all the technical stuff you do during the day or during the week and all the people and leadership stuff, you will be amazed to see that I don't think we really sit down and think about it, how much time we spend on the people leadership space. And we spend so much time sharpening the saw when it comes to being technically competent, right? But the thing is, it's really important to be confident and technically competent at what you do, right? But you know what? And I do this always in my coaching and my workshops, is when you start to think about all the stuff that you do during the day, during the week, during the month, around the people and the teams and the communication and the leadership, right? There's so much more that you do in that people and leadership space. And this is why sharpen your saw when it comes to people and leadership. If you focus on sharpening your saw on this and really building up those skills to connect and build those great communication skills, right? Because that's, again, leadership's about influencing communication. If you focus on sharpening your saw on this as well, it'll make a massive difference to your life and your career. So today I wanted to talk about a few things when it comes to having particularly courageous conversations, okay? Because when you're having courageous conversations, you're actually really connecting with someone. And I don't know about you, I'd love to know your thoughts. How many of you kind of go, I don't know if I shy away from having courageous conversations. I shy away from conflict. It's too scary, right? And look, not everyone jumps up and down when it comes to courageous conversations or conflict. However, how many of you on this call kind of go, or on this live go, oh, this is scary, right? Having conversations and performance reviews, having coaching conversations, having conversations when you're seeing behaviors or actions that aren't aligned to the values or culture of the organization, when you're concerned about someone, people tend to kind of shy away from it, but it's so important as a leader that you're having these courageous conversations to connect. So 5 key points: preparation, mindset, connection, process, and then I'm going to teach you some actions. Preparation's key. It's really important that you think about how you can prepare for any conversations, in particular, like performance reviews. So we do a lot of work with people around leading performance, leading people, how to have those, I don't know if you have them yearly or biannually, those performance review times. It's so important that you're prepared. Don't just walk in or race in to any sort of courageous conversation, performance meeting, coaching meeting without having the preparation, having the outcomes you're looking for, having the data, having the examples. Preparation is really key, as well as mindset. What is your mindset going in these conversations? I'm a great believer in having a mindset of positive intent. Going in there with an intent of, I'm here to serve. I'm here with good intent. I'm here to coach you to be better. I'm here with a mindset around that I'm going to be in this space, in this room, this time where I'm having this connected all courageous conversation or perform, whatever you're doing with this individual or team, or how you're connecting with them. Go in there that you're there to serve. You're there to help them learn more, be more, do more, right? And also go in there with a mindset of, I'm here get them to a reward state. So if you think about, when I think about mindset, and if I think about having these courageous conversations, a lot of people are in that threat response. If you think from a neuroscience perspective, when you've had to walk into a room having a courageous conversation, or one of those conversations where you go, oh, this is going to be a little bit uncomfortable, right? Even when it's a positive experience, especially when it comes to performance reviews, when you're going into a meeting with someone, you're going to give them a glowing performance review. The brain's still a little bit in the threat response because it's a bit scary. It's a bit like it's unknown. I'm uncertain what's going to happen here. You want to get yourself in the mindset and the person you're having the connection or conversation with towards a toward state. You need to kind of set the scene that you're there to help them. You're there with the intent to make them be better. Even show a little bit of vulnerability when you're in there. Kind of talk about, gosh, how it feels to kind of be sitting on the other side of the table with these conversations. I always think having courageous conversations, going for a walk is a great idea, or a cup of coffee, not sitting in an office with a barrier of a desk between you. When we get people towards a toward state, when we're getting them to feel comfortable in the connection, when you're having a conversation that's particularly around courage, when you get them in a toward state, they're more open. They're more relaxed. They tend to want to be more involved and collaborate. When you're going in there and kind of setting the scene around kind of trying to tell them, everything that they've done wrong or doing wrong or how they've impacted you or whatever's going on, again, they're in that stress state. They become anxious, distracted. So it's about getting them into towards state, and that you're there to help them be better, right? Again, a lot of people don't really know how to do this. I'm going to teach you a really great technique a bit later on. I think that this year is about the reconnection. And if you can really, again, think about, again, the more preparation you put into this, the more that you have your mindset and focus into the fact you're connecting with someone. You're connecting with someone that you could really make a difference to. If you think about leadership's also about making an impact. And our words, our messages, our intent make a difference. So if you can really think about how you can really support and inspire and lift this person to be better and do better and connect with them, it's the reconnection this is the reconnection that we need for 2022. And the way we do that is through building trust. Trust is everything when it comes to connecting with people. When people feel safe and connected with you, right? If you think about back here, they're in that towards state. If they feel they can trust you, if they feel as if they know your intent is a positive and good intent, they're going to be in that reward towards state. So therefore, they're going to be more open to collaborating and listening and truly seeing what you're trying to do to help serve them. Trust is everything. I think some ways to build trust is definitely kindness. I think kindness is key. And empathy is key, and compassion. All these things are key. If you look at any of Amy Cuddy's work, she's got a great TED talk around the power of body language. She's done some great work through Harvard around the number one stopping executives moving and climbing up the ladder is trust, right? And how do we build trust? We build trust through warmth. We build trust through that we really care, through kindness. And again, there's some great research if you want to reach out to the team and myself at Leadership HQ around that and around how you can do that. The other way we can do that is through psychological safety. There's some great books, which I've got here to show you. We talk about keeping people safe, which I think is really important. And for everyone that's listening today, if you're from Brisbane, I'm in Brisbane with the floods. I really, truly hope that you all are safe. I'm all about keeping people safe, but it's also about making people feel safe. There's some great books. I really love Amy Edmonston's book around the Fearless organization. Some great stuff around here. The Aristotle Project through Google that she did around high performance teams. There's some amazing case studies in here in organizations that didn't have that psychological safety or trust and the absolute devastations that had happened. And she talks about how to build psychological safety. There's another great one as well. This is a great book on psychological safety on Dan Ratticky. Again, if you're interested in finding out a little bit more about that, reach out to us. It is about psychological safety. Psychological safety is a held belief that no one will suffer any negative consequences through taking interpersonal risks. This might include speaking up with an idea in a meeting, challenging the status quo, making a change, admitting a mistake, right? I'm all about that with my team. Hence, when we have connected and courageous conversations, I really want my team to speak up because I think every idea could be a really great idea. I'm really open. The team and I welcome going, let's challenge the status quo. Is there anything we could be doing differently or better? I definitely don't have all the answers. I don't know at all. That's why I surround myself with incredibly smart and courageous and kind people. Leadership's about change and leading change. I'm really happy when my team make mistakes because I make plenty of them. And I think sometimes we can learn just as much, if not more, from our mistakes. So building teams where, again, you're in a space where there's trust, there's psychological safety, you're truly connecting, you're letting people have the courage to speak up and give you feedback. That is like so wonderful to have that in teams and in organizations. I truly invite you to think about how you can build that trust and psychological safety, because it'll help you fundamentally in having more connected and courageous conversations. There's some great 3 fundamentals around this when it comes to psychological safety, like framing work as a learning problem, not an execution problem. The outcome of the work should not exclusively be the output, but also the learning how to do it better next time. Also acknowledging your own, fallibility by admitting that you admit a mistake, or you've made a mistake, or don't know the answer. You also allow, and also I think encourage others to do the same, right? I think the other thing is modeling curiosity and asking questions, staying curious, asking people what they think, ask them to contribute, especially when you're in the room and you're dealing with introverts. It's really important that you give them obviously space to process, but also make sure you have enough room where the extroverts aren't kind of taking over the conversations, that you're getting introverts and asking them questions. This also takes some think again around not only introverts, but cultural intelligence as well. Again, this is about being inclusive and understanding the people in the room and their diversity in the room. By asking questions, about asking for help. Again, I think when you create a need and ask people to speak up, it really is essential for, again, connecting and building high performance teams, right? So important. So important. If you've got any questions, let me know, okay? So yeah, it absolutely starts with, okay, as I've spoken about, preparation is key. Your mindset, absolutely your mindset. Absolutely showing vulnerability as well to build trust is key. And also that psychological safety is so important, because I always think, right, when it comes to the mindset, when you see that, having connected and courageous conversations, your mindset is around that it's going to build relationships and make relationships better within your team and with those around you, with your leaders, with your people. When you change the frame, you change the game, right? And when you change the frame around any of these conversations, whether it's coaching, performance reviews, meetings, when you change the game, you change the frame. So I'm going to get you to, as well, when it comes to having courageous conversations, help you change the frame around these, because so many people run for the hills when they think about conflict and courageous conversations. So I'm going to teach you the coolest technique, right, about having courageous conversations. So before I start, I'd love you to tell me in the slide next, what does the slide say next? Okay. All right. So for everyone that's listening, what does the slide say next? Tell me what the slide says. Type it or write it down. A lot of people go, okay, the slide next says Paris in the spring. And some people go Paris in the spring, right? It's really interesting how the brain works, because the brain's always trying to conserve energy. So therefore, we only need a couple of bits of data to kind of make out what something's about, right? And this is where sometimes we have conflicts, because we'll see data through our lens, through our perceptions, and it might not be reality. However, someone's just gone Paris in the spring, and it actually says Paris in the spring, but which is fun. A lot of people say Paris in the spring because they're racing, like the brain is kind of like very quick to go, look, I know what the answer is. This happens with life, right? We'll see a behavior, or we'll make an assumption about something, and the brain constantly, like literally comes up with, this is what reality is, and it's not always right. There's also and this is another example of, I'm going to talk to you around how the brain works, in particular the reticular activating system, the RAS for short. So according to research, tell me, see how you can read this. I'm sure most of you can read this. Particularly if English is your first, is your language. If you don't know English as well, again, it's still really interesting to read this, because you'd be probably able to pick this up pretty easily as well if you do have English as a second language. But again, the brain is able to just kind of get a couple of bits of data, like according to research, blah, blah, blah. You can pick up a couple of bits of data and you know what it says, okay? It's the same with behaviors and actions, right? This is why having the courage to connect with people and make sure that you're not making assumptions is really key. I think that's really, really important, okay? So we're very quick at coming up with what we think the answer is. Okay, so what we tend to do is we tend to climb this ladder. We tend to kind of see a couple of bits of data and make an assumption. Has anyone done that? Has anyone kind of seen something and assumed something from that? Whether it's, for instance, and I'll show you an interesting video next, it's called the ladder of inference. Have you ever, like, I don't know, seen someone yawn in a meeting and then your brain has automatically climbed this ladder and gone, oh, that person's bored, that person doesn't think, and you kind of make assumptions, right? But however, it's really important to be a great leader and this is how we connect with people, kind of go, hey, I noticed this behavior or this action. I'm just checking in. What was going on there? So I'll just show you this really interesting video and you tell me what you think of the video. Oh, I don't think it's going to play, actually. Unfortunately, it's not going to play. For some reason, it didn't embed in the slide. I'm so sorry. If you're interested in the video, I'll send it through to you. Basically, it's a video showing that each of us are like icebergs. So if you think of, I don't know, if you think about human behavior, we're seeing the tip of the iceberg, right? We're only seeing the tip, but what's actually driving underneath the iceberg, which is the bulk of the iceberg, right, are our beliefs, our attitudes, values. Those things under the iceberg drive that behavior at the tip. So the example in the video when we climb the ladder of inference is that we'll see a behavior and then our brains are actually very quick to provide or create meaning towards that. So for instance, the example I used before was the yawning. And it actually did happen to me a couple of years ago. There was a wonderful man I was coaching called Scott, and he came and saw me speak about neuroscience a number of years ago at this HR conference. And anyway, I was so excited and I spoke, and he was sitting at the front of this conference, and I was looking at him and he yawned at this conference. And while I was speaking, in my brain went very quickly into, he doesn't think that I'm a good speaker. Doesn't he think that I know what I'm talking about? Why did he yawn? Is he bored? And my brain climbed this ladder where I had created a belief system based on an action. And I then left the room ruminating about it, going, did he not think that I was a good speaker today? What was going on? Like, I drove home and I thought, wow, I can't believe I coach him and he yawned. He must have thought I was boring. And the thing is, this is where conflict happens, because therefore we adapt our behaviors based on that. So therefore, every time I'd see Scott, I'd be on the lookout to kind of reaffirm my belief system that he thought I wasn't good enough or I was boring, right? Have you ever done that? Have you ever climbed the ladder and made assumptions based on your perception of something? And then a couple of days later, I thought, you know what? I coach and teach this space. I'm going to have the conversation. So I decided to go and speak to Scott and inquire. I went, hey, Scott, I just want to have a conversation with you. I noticed, in my keynote around neuroscience a couple of days, like, that you yawned. I just wanted to see how you found it. And he just laughed and he said, oh no, I thought it was fantastic. It was just that I'd been up all night with a sick baby and I was just exhausted. Now, if I didn't have the courage to connect with him and have that conversation and inquire about what I'd seen and what was going on for him, I would have been walking around with that belief system that, he thought I was boring, which was not correct. So it's about, again, using the connected and courageous conversations to check in with people. I use this great technique. It really helps you connect with someone. It's kind of 4 steps. When I see DOD, which is direct observable data, I think it means. So when I see you yawning in my meeting, I think it means you think that my presentation wasn't great today. My concern is maybe it wasn't. What were you experiencing when you were a bit tired in the meeting? It helps you have those connected conversations. It helps you really talk to someone, especially when it's going to take courage, right? It's very easy to obviously have a connected conversation with someone when you see positive actions. However, when you're kind of seeing something that you go, oh, maybe I need to have the courage here. Like, for instance, when I see you turning up late to work every day, I think it means that you're not motivated. My concern is, are you not happy at work? What are you experiencing? Why are you turning up late every day? So it kind of balances that advocacy, making statements around the data and your meaning and perceptions around it, and then inquiring around, and also how you feel, and then inquiring around what is going on for them, versus why you're late. Are you unmotivated? I mean, that's not really a connected and courageous conversation where you're just advocating. Again, people are going to go to that threat response, right? They're going to walk away or run away from that. When you actually kind of go, this is what I'm seeing through my lens, because remember how the brain works, and the RAS, it only has to pick up a couple of bits of data and come up with its focus, or come up with its kind of like, this is what it put meaning to it. When you actually kind of balance advocacy with inquiry and you're curious, I think that's something we need to see a lot more of. We're really curious in our conversations because we want to connect with someone. It helps have those connected, courageous conversations, right? Hey, when you do this, not everyone's going to want to go, okay, yeah, I'm happy to talk about it now. And someone might go, yeah, actually, I didn't find your presentation that great today. You need to be open to, great, can you give me some feedback? I'm curious. Some people might go, actually, I'm turning up late today. I'm turning up late, yeah, I know, every day, but I'm not ready to talk about it. Again, at least you've connected with them. It's a great technique. And if you want some more information, just reach out to the team at hello@leadershiphq.com.au. Remember curiosity and listening. We've got these 2 ears for a reason. I think, again, a great technique that we could be definitely focusing on this year in the reconnection is listening a lot more, okay? Truly listening to people. So I'd love to know around actions. We've spoken about preparation is key, mindset. We've spoken about the mindset preparation. We've spoken about a bit of a process. I've spoken about like how you can actually put this into action. I'd love to know what you're going to put into action from today. How are you going to truly connect with others? How are you truly going to connect and say, how can I help you? How are you going to connect and say, and give feedback, show gratitude, have those courageous conversations? I think it's really important. I'd love to know what you're going to take from the action today, or what you're going to apply from today, because I'm all about how you can, build trust, how you can show more vulnerability, how we can overcome unconscious bias by having these courageous conversations, how we can show psychological safety. A couple other books that are really great I wanted to recommend. This one's an awesome book, a bit of a classic, Crucial Conversations. It's a really good one. There's another book, I don't have it with me, I think I've got it in my bookcase in the other room, is called Radical Candor. Is a great book. I talk about in my latest book, Courage to Connect, as well. Some great books. I'm all about, again, sharpening your saw. It's so important. I'd love to know what you're going to do differently around today. I'd love you to check out our Leadership Lab. It is super amazing. You are going to be able to network. There's networking, there's blogs, there's articles, there's magazines, there's events, there's tools. There's just so much to it. Everyone that joins actually gets, I think we're up to the first 50 people. It's selling quite quickly. The membership, you get a free live ticket to the Courage Conference in July with Christine Holgate and Paul Scar, worth $147 as part of your membership. That's up to the first 50 to sign up. Make sure if you want to be truly courageous, we need more courageous leaders. Nominate in our Outstanding Leadership Awards. We're all about building a world of great leadership. It starts with us. So please nominate yourself, your team, or someone at work. And if there's anything we can do to help you, please connect with us. I know today was very fast. I normally spend hours and hours and hours talking about this subject, and months and days and weeks talking about leadership. But if there's anything we can do to support and help you around being a great leader, I want you to see us as your leadership coach. And if we can help you be more, do more, and learn more, I would love to hear how we're helping you or how you're going out there making a difference. Rosemary, thank you so much for being so interactive, or everyone that's been so interactive today. Vivek and Kim, there's so many people on this call today that have been amazing. Nasir, thank you so much. There's just so many people. Thank you so much for investing some time out today and sharpening your saw to have more connected and courageous conversations, because see courageous conversations as a way to truly connect with people. Use that balancing advocacy and inquiry. It works wonderfully. You will truly connect with so many people by doing that. And thank you so much for connecting today, and always stay kind and stay courageous. Thank you.